No child left bilingual after the ELA test.
I noticed that most of the children were very frustrated. They were very nervous during the test, and many of them kept raising questions and asking for clarifications on certain words that they didn't know because they couldn't read them in English. And what frustrated me the most and even amazed me was that one student in particular, who was in that fifth grade class and was reading at a kindergarten, first grade level, answered the essay portion of the test completely in Spanish.
This is not an issue for only English language learners and the communities that serve them.
Teachers in all types of settings are feeling the effects.
The test date for me was very hard because my children had time and a half and directions read and reread, which you would think they would benefit from, but the extra time was just extra time that I had to babysit them. Because one child in particular, he was reading on a kindergarten level, was tested on the fourth grade level, and he couldn't read it, so he just sat there bubbling, and he was just putting the alphabet in the written part because he can't write. So a lot of my kids are very happy to come to school and they want to learn, but when you throw a test, you make them take a test that is not on their level, they get very disheartened and discouraged. And they were very upset that day, and their morale, I felt it was very, and I'm just like, okay guys, good job, but that's almost lying to them, like, I don't know. It hurts. It does.
Although I'm not satisfied with the coverage in the mainstream news, headlines supporting English language learners can be seen in educational media. Blogs and entire websites are dedicated to discussing these important issues. In New York Teacher, February 1st, 2007, Ermine Cunningham on the far right explained what happened when a fourth grade English language learner tried to read a passage aloud. "I thought that might make it easier for her," Cunningham said. "She said blah 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 when she didn't know the words. Well, she read the whole passage and she only knew about 2 or 3 sight words. She'd say blah 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 then blah blah blah, and she had no idea what the passage was about." In Education Week, January 31st, 2007, Carissa J. Swigart, a fourth grade teacher, said, "I've seen enormous gains since the beginning of the school year, but we can't expect them to jump up all those levels of reading to understand and pass a grade level standardized test." In a memo to superintendents, administrators, bilingual and ESL educators, dated December 28, 2006, Richard P. Mills, State Education Commissioner, explained that he and the Board of Regents are opposed to the NCLB policy. He states, "We believe many ELL students need at least 3 years to learn sufficient English to take the ELA exam, and we remain concerned about the effect the federal decision will have on the schools, teachers, and most of all, the children." Commissioner Mills is seeking approval to allow English language learners who have been in the country less than 2 years to take the ELA exam for participation purposes only. However, he reports that he has not received any response from the Department of Education. Support is also coming from 10 U.S. senators who are calling for a major overhaul of NCLB testing mandates. In a letter dated February 15, 2007, to the Senate Health, Education, Labor, and Pensions Committee, the lawmakers state, "We have concluded that the testing mandates of NCLB in their current form are unsustainable and must be overhauled significantly during the reauthorization process beginning this year. Testing English language learners after only 1 year of being in the country is unacceptable." Teachers, administrators, the commissioner, and senators, and children are voicing their opposition. NCLB is not only affecting English language learners and children with special needs, but it's affecting every child. What can we do to advocate for the needs of all of our students?